The night sky had always been a place of wonder. For thousands of years, humans looked up and saw the same stars. They told stories, made maps, and dreamed about the worlds beyond. The stars were constant, eternal, unchanging. But one night, something strange happened. It began quietly. No explosions, no bright warnings. Just silence. A group of astronomers in Chile noticed it first. A star that had burned brightly for centuries was gone. It was not fading. It was not dying. It was simply missing. At first, they thought it was an error in their telescopes. Machines sometimes fail. Sensors sometimes glitch. But as they checked again and again, more stars were disappearing. Every night, a few more points of light blinked out of existence. The news spread among scientists across the world. In Hawaii, in China, in Europe, every observatory reported the same thing. Stars were vanishing, but not in random order. They were disappearing in patterns, like a wave spreading across the galaxy. Governments were warned, but the leaders refused to tell the public. They said it was technical error. They said, there is nothing to worry about. But the truth was darker. The stars were being stolen. Weeks passed. The number of missing stars grew into hundreds. Then thousands. People who loved stargazing began to notice. The night sky no longer looked the same. Constellations were broken. Shapes that guided sailors and dreamers for centuries were ruined. The public grew restless. Some thought the world was ending. Some believed it was a sign from God. Others whispered that it was aliens. And they were right. Hidden inside the data of the telescopes was a terrible discovery. The stars were not dying. They were being covered. Around each star, something vast and mechanical was being built. Giant alien machines, like cages, wrapped around suns and drained their light. These were not natural objects. They were not comets, or dust, or planets. They were designed, engineered, created by something intelligent. Something that wanted the stars for itself. The scientists who uncovered this truth were terrified. They tried to warn the leaders of Earth. Some governments wanted to keep it secret to avoid panic. Others wanted to prepare weapons. But no human weapon could reach across the galaxy. The alien machines were too far, too massive, too advanced. Still, the fear grew. On the streets of every city, people noticed the darker skies. Children pointed up and asked their parents, "Where did the stars go?" But the parents had no answer. Religions tried to explain it. Some said it was prophecy. Some said Judgment Day had begun. But deep inside, humanity felt the same cold fear. Something was coming. Then came the first sign that Earth was in danger. A group of radio astronomers in Australia picked up a strange signal. It was not random. It was not noise. It was a message. A slow, repeating pattern, traveling across space. At first, no one could decode it. The signal was complex, layered with strange mathematics. But as computers worked day and night, the message revealed itself. It was a warning, or perhaps a demand. 3 words appeared on every screen. Do not resist. The message repeated again and again, across every frequency. It spread like a shadow, reaching military satellites, weather stations, even cell towers. No matter where people turned, the message was there: do not resist. For the first time in history, humanity knew it was not alone. The vanishing stars, the dark sky, the fear, it all made sense. Someone out there was seizing suns, and Earth's turn was coming soon. The governments called emergency meetings. Generals demanded action. Scientists argued for caution. The world was divided between those who wanted to fight and those who wanted to submit. But one fact was clear: the stars were not safe. And neither was Earth. That night, a family stood on the roof of their small home in India. The father pointed at the sky and showed his son the empty space where a star used to be. The boy frowned. "Why is it gone?" he asked. The father did not know what to say. He wanted to protect his child from fear, but he also knew the truth. He looked at the dark sky and whispered, "Because someone took it." Across the world, millions of people had the same fear, the same question. Who had the power to steal the stars? And why? No answer came. Only silence. But the silence was not peace. It was the silence before something greater, something worse. And then, as the world struggled with fear, one more discovery was made. The next target was not far away. It was not Alpha Centauri. It was not a distant system. It was the sun. The alien machines were coming for Earth's star. Humanity's lifeline. Humanity's home. And the human race had only one choice: obey the message and surrender, or dare to resist. The message kept echoing across Earth. Do not resist. Every hour, every frequency, every radio station, humans could not escape it. At first, many thought it was a trick. Perhaps another country was testing strange technology. Perhaps it was a virus inside the communication networks. But the more scientists studied the signal, the more certain they became. It was not human. The mathematics hidden in the message were far beyond human science. The energy required to send such a signal across light years was enormous. And most frightening of all, the signal was directed at Earth. Not at Mars, not at Jupiter, not at the other planets. Only Earth. The world changed in days. Governments declared emergency powers. Military forces were placed on high alert. Satellites scanned the skies constantly. In secret underground bunkers, leaders argued over what to do. Some wanted to send a message back. Others warned against it. "What if they are only watching?" one general said. "If we answer, we reveal our strength and our weakness." But it was already too late. Humanity had been noticed. The arrival. On a cold morning, telescopes in Hawaii detected something new. A fleet. Not meteors, not comets, not rocks. Dozens of objects, moving in formation, entering the edge of the solar system near Neptune. The objects were fast, faster than anything humans had ever built. They were not glowing with rockets or fire. Instead, they bent space around them, sliding forward like shadows in the dark. Astronomers counted 50. Then 70. Then more. The alien fleet was here. Panic spread. News could no longer be hidden. Across the world, screens lit up with the same images, strange shapes crossing the void, heading toward the inner planets. People screamed in the streets. Religions claimed the end had come. Stock markets collapsed. Governments ordered people to remain calm, but fear was stronger than words. For the first time in human history, Earth faced an enemy from the stars. The first words. Then, a second message came. This one was clearer, sharper, like a knife in the ear. It was not sent only to governments. It was broadcast everywhere, directly into phones, radios, televisions. The voice was cold. It was not male, not female, not human. It was metallic, empty, almost like a machine. People of Earth. Your sun belongs to us. Your world belongs to us. Do not resist. If you fight, you will suffer. If you obey, you may survive. This is your first and last warning. The message repeated in every language. In English. In Chinese. In Hindi. In Arabic. In Spanish. No one was left out. Children heard it. Farmers heard it. Soldiers heard it. Everyone knew the truth now. Humanity divided. The world fell into chaos. Some leaders said humanity must fight. "We will not kneel," they cried. They promised to build weapons, to prepare the armies of Earth. Others said resistance was impossible. "We are ants before a storm," they warned. "If we fight, we die." Ordinary people were divided too. Some begged their leaders to surrender, hoping to save their families. Others marched in the streets, demanding resistance, shouting that humans must never bow. But one fact was certain: the aliens were not asking. They were demanding. And they were coming closer. The secret meeting. In a hidden bunker beneath Switzerland, the world's top scientists, generals, and leaders gathered. They sat around a long table, faces pale, voices tense. A scientist from Japan spoke first. The alien machines are building shells around stars. They drain energy. If they reach our sun, Earth will freeze in days. A general from America slammed his fist on the table. Then we fight. Nukes, missiles, whatever we have, we throw it at them. A leader from Europe shook her head. Our weapons cannot reach them in time. We will be destroyed before we can even touch them. The room filled with shouting. Fear, anger, hopelessness. Then, quietly, one voice spoke from the corner. It was an old scientist, thin and tired, but his eyes were sharp. They think we will surrender, he said. They believe we are weak. That is their mistake. Humanity has survived every enemy on Earth. We will survive this too. But we must not fight as they expect. We must fight in a way they cannot imagine. The room fell silent. That was the beginning. The beginning of a secret plan. The hidden resistance. While governments argued in public, a secret group formed in the shadows. Scientists, soldiers, hackers, engineers, even ordinary citizens. People who refused to surrender. They called themselves the Resistance. They did not have powerful ships. They did not have weapons that could tear apart stars. But they had something else. Human creativity. Human courage. Human anger. They began to build. Old satellites were hacked and reprogrammed. Nuclear warheads were taken out of storage. Artificial intelligence programs, once banned, were awakened again. In secret labs beneath the deserts, in the darkness of deep oceans, in hidden bases on the moon, humanity prepared. The world was terrified. The governments were divided. The alien fleet was coming. But the resistance whispered one word in the dark. Fight. The shadow over Earth. Days later, telescopes showed the alien fleet passing Jupiter. Their ships were strange, like black daggers cutting through the void. They moved in perfect silence, perfect formation. One by one, the alien ships turned toward Earth. The final message came again. Do not resist. But humanity had already chosen. Some would kneel. Some would pray. Some would run. But others, the brave few, whispered a different answer into the darkness of space. We will resist. And the first battle was about to begin. The alien fleet passed Jupiter like shadows gliding across the deep. Silent, cold, relentless. 70 ships, each larger than the tallest mountains on Earth, slid toward the inner planets. Their black hulls swallowed light. Their movement was smooth, almost unnatural, as if space itself carried them forward. Humanity had never faced such an enemy. The governments of Earth argued, still unsure whether to surrender or fight. But far from the speeches, far from the debates, the resistance prepared in silence. They knew words would not stop the invaders. Only action could. The first plan. The resistance had no great fleet. No star destroyers. No godlike weapons. But they had tricks. In hidden bunkers, old satellites were reprogrammed. Outdated warheads were strapped to rockets. Hackers built viruses that could leap through signals and eat into alien code. Humanity could not match alien strength. But they could play a different game, war by surprise. The resistance planned their first strike at Jupiter. The giant planet was more than a world. It was a shield. Its gravity pulled in rocks, asteroids, and endless debris. A perfect place for an ambush. If humans could wound the fleet, even for a moment, it would send a message: Earth was not prey. The waiting. Far beyond Mars, a small group of human ships floated in the dark. They were not shiny. They were not powerful. Some were simple cargo vessels, rebuilt into weapons. Others were mining ships, fitted with crude armor. Their engines were weak, their weapons old. But inside those ships were human soldiers, engineers, and volunteers who refused to kneel. Many knew they would not return. Still, they waited, silent, hidden among rocks near Jupiter's shadow. One soldier whispered to another, "Do you think they know we're here?" The commander answered, "Let them think we are ants. That is when ants bite hardest." The battle begins. The alien ships entered Jupiter's orbit. Their scanners searched the space, cold and perfect. They saw rocks, dust, broken machines. Nothing to fear. But hidden among those shadows, the resistance moved. At the signal, human ships powered up. Engines flared. Dozens of missiles launched at once, streaking like burning arrows across the black. Some carried nuclear warheads. Others carried hacking devices, built to pierce alien code. The aliens reacted quickly. Their ships unfolded wings of light, beams cutting through the void. One by one, human missiles exploded, torn apart before reaching their target. But not all of them. A handful of missiles slipped through the fire. They slammed against the alien hulls. Explosions rippled across the black ships. For the first time, alien shields cracked. The fleet slowed. For the first time, the invaders had been touched. The cost of defiance. The aliens responded with fury. Blue fire lanced across the dark, slicing through human ships. In seconds, half the resistance fleet was gone. Yet the humans did not retreat. Mining ships hurled asteroids at alien cruisers, using gravity like a weapon. One asteroid, the size of a building, struck a black ship and shattered it into burning fragments. Hackers screamed into their microphones as their viruses dug into alien systems. Screens flickered. Some alien ships slowed, their movements no longer perfect. A human pilot laughed bitterly. "We can hurt them. We can really hurt them." But the joy did not last. Alien fire tore through his ship, leaving nothing but silence. The unexpected victory. The battle was short, brutal, and costly. Out of dozens of human ships, only a few survived. The rest were reduced to wrecks, drifting forever in Jupiter's shadow. But the aliens had not won easily. They had been damaged. They had lost ships. They had learned a truth they did not expect. Humanity could fight. In the silence after the battle, the alien fleet slowed. For the first time since they entered the solar system, they hesitated. The resistance had sent their message. Humanity would not kneel without blood. The reaction. On Earth, news of the battle spread quickly. Some called it a victory. Others called it a suicide. The governments tried to control the story, but they could not hide the truth. Humanity had hurt the invaders. Humanity had made them bleed. For the first time since the stars vanished, people lifted their heads with pride. Fear still burned in their hearts, but alongside it was something else. Hope. A child in Brazil looked up at the sky and whispered, "We are fighting back." An old woman in Russia smiled through tears. "Maybe we are not alone after all. Maybe we are strong." The alien response. But hope was fragile. In the darkness beyond Jupiter, the alien fleet reformed. The damaged ships repaired themselves, metal flowing like liquid. The survivors of the resistance could only watch, powerless, as something enormous appeared behind the fleet. A shadow. A giant. A ship so large it blocked the stars themselves. It was the alien mothership. It was coming toward Earth. And this time, there would be no ambush. No tricks. No hiding. The war for humanity's survival had truly begun. The alien mothership moved closer. It was not a ship, it was a world of steel. Its size dwarfed every city on Earth. It blotted out the stars as it drifted toward the sun. Its black surface shimmered with rivers of strange energy. On Earth, people watched in silence. For weeks, the news had shown nothing else. Everyone knew what was coming. The battle at Jupiter was only the beginning. Humanity had struck the aliens, but it had cost dearly. Now the real war was here. The shadow over Earth. When the mothership reached Earth's orbit, the sky changed. Daylight dimmed. Nights grew darker. It was as if the planet itself was inside a coffin of shadow. The aliens spoke again. Earth, your resistance is meaningless. Your sun belongs to us. Kneel or perish. The message was cold, final, merciless. Governments broke down. Leaders argued on live broadcasts. Some begged for peace, ready to surrender. Others shouted for more war, even if it meant destruction. But ordinary people no longer waited for orders. They could see the truth above their heads. The mothership's shadow stretched across oceans and mountains. There was no escape. The first strike. Without warning, beams of alien fire rained down. They were not like nuclear blasts or human bombs. They were clean, sharp, merciless lines of light. Cities burned in silence. Skyscrapers melted like wax. Oceans boiled where the beams touched. New York, Shanghai, Cairo, London. No city was safe. No nation was spared. Billions fled underground. Bunkers filled with terrified families. Children cried in the dark while the world above turned to ash. Earth was falling. The hidden fleet. But in the darkest moment, a secret long kept was revealed. While the aliens burned the surface, deep beneath the moon's craters, giant doors opened. Hidden hangars, built in silence for years, came alive. Engines roared. Lights flared. Out of the shadows rose human ships, not fragile cargo vessels, not old mining crafts, but war machines built in secret. Sleek, armored, fast. The resistance had prepared more than anyone knew. The lunar fleet lifted into space, hundreds of ships launching like arrows from the moon's surface. Across Earth, survivors who watched from bunkers screamed and cheered. Humanity was not broken. Humanity was not finished. The true fight was just beginning. The counterattack. The lunar fleet struck fast. Missiles streaked toward the mothership. Railguns hammered at alien shields. Hackers uploaded new viruses, each one smarter, deadlier than the last. The aliens answered with fury. The mothership unfolded wings of light. Drones spilled out like swarms of locusts, thousands of small ships darting through space. The battle was chaos. Explosions flared above the Earth, brighter than stars. Broken ships tumbled into the atmosphere, burning like falling meteors. Every second, more humans died. But every second, the aliens bled too. The lunar fleet was not strong enough to win, but it was strong enough to fight. The sacrifice. In the middle of the battle, one human captain made a choice. His ship was crippled, engines failing, weapons gone. But he was close to the mothership. He turned to his crew. "We can't fire. But we can still strike." The crew nodded. They all understood. The captain drove his burning ship straight into the alien mothership's hull. The collision lit space with a fire brighter than the moon. The mothership's shields flickered. For the first time, cracks spread across its black armor. Humanity cheered. The mothership was not invincible. The virus. While ships fought and died in space, hackers on Earth unleashed their greatest weapon, a digital virus hidden inside the battle signals. It slipped into alien code, spreading through their fleet like poison. One by one, drones froze. Some ships turned against their allies. The mothership itself shuddered as strange symbols flickered across its surface. The aliens had never faced something like this. Their technology was powerful, but they had not expected the chaotic, unpredictable mind of humanity. For the first time, the mothership retreated slightly, pulling back from its position above Earth. The terrible secret. But victory was not simple. As the virus spread deeper, it unlocked alien data. Strange files, strange images, strange truths hidden in their systems. The scientists who decrypted the files gasped. The aliens were not conquerors for power. They were not thieves of stars for greed. They were running from something greater. Something ancient. something that hunted across the galaxy. The aliens harvested suns to build weapons, to build shields, to build machines of survival. They were not the storm. They were only the ones fleeing the storm. Humanity had not been chosen as prey. Humanity had been chosen as a shield. The choice ahead. The lunar fleet burned. Earth's cities smoldered. The mothership still hung in the sky, cracked but alive. Humanity had proven it could fight. Humanity had shown it would not kneel. But now, a new question stood before every human heart. Do we destroy the aliens completely? Do we drive them out, no matter the cost? Or do we learn the truth, and face the greater danger together? In bunkers, in command rooms, in the silence of space, one thought echoed across the human race. The war had only just begun. Inside the stolen alien data, scientists uncovered fragments of a story. At first, it was impossible to understand. Symbols, numbers, and strange patterns. But the deeper they studied, the clearer it became. The aliens were not the true enemy. Long ago, they had faced something else. Something older than their civilization. Something that moved across the galaxy, hunting stars, devouring light. A predator of cosmic scale. The aliens had named it only with one symbol, the Devourer. They harvested suns not out of greed, but out of fear. They caged stars to build energy, weapons, and shields. Entire fleets were only walls, desperate defenses against the endless hunger in the dark. The humans had thought they were fighting conquerors. But they were fighting refugees of a greater war. The message in the dark. The virus that infected the mothership had done more than damage it. It had forced communication. A strange signal beamed down to Earth, not a demand this time, but something else. A voice. Broken, static-filled, strained. You do not understand. We flee. We build. The Devourer comes. It will not stop. It will not rest. It will consume you, as it consumes all. The voice crackled, then fell silent. Humanity stood at a crossroads. The choice. The leaders of Earth gathered once again. The room was smaller now. Many leaders were gone, their nations shattered by fire. The survivors argued, voices heavy with anger and grief. They destroyed our cities, one shouted. They murdered millions. There is no peace with them. They are liars, another spat. They say they run, but perhaps this devourer is only an excuse. Perhaps they want to control us. But others argued differently. If they are telling the truth, one scientist said, then we face a far greater danger. If the devourer is real, we cannot fight it alone. Even these aliens, with their great ships, only run. What chance do we have without allies? The debate raged for hours. At last, a decision was made. Humanity would not surrender. But neither would it destroy the wounded mothership. Instead, it would send a message of its own. Humanity speaks. Across every signal, every satellite, every hacked alien frequency, a single message went out. The voice was human, strong, unbroken. We are humanity. You came to take our sun. You burned our world. But you learned one truth. We do not kneel. We resist. We endure. We fight. The message paused. Then continued. You say a greater enemy comes. Perhaps that is true. If so, then remember this. You did not defeat us. You only awakened us. If the devourer comes, we will not run. We will not hide. We will stand, and we will fight. And when we fight to win. The message ended. Earth waited. The silent reply. 4 hours, there was no answer. The mothership drifted in silence. Its drones, its weapons, its fire, all quiet. Then, slowly it turned. The giant ship pulled away from Earth, engines glowing faintly. It did not fire again. It did not conquer. It left. Whether it was retreat, or respect, or fear, no one could say. But for the first time, The stars above Earth shone clear again. A new beginning. The planet was scarred. Millions were dead. Cities were ruins. But humanity was alive. In the ashes, survivors rebuilt. The lunar fleet, though broken, was proof that humans could fight in space. Engineers swore to build more ships, faster, stronger, smarter. Hackers refined their viruses into weapons. Scientists studied the alien data, searching for every weakness of the so-called devourer. Humanity no longer looked at the stars with only fear. They looked with defiance. They were no longer prisoners of Earth. They were warriors of the galaxy. The final spark. On a quiet night, far from the ruins of cities, a boy stood with his father and looked at the sky. The stars were fewer now, dimmer, many stolen by alien cages. The boy asked, "Will they come back?" The father placed a hand on his shoulder and said, "Yes. The aliens will return. And maybe one day, the devourer too." The boy frowned. Then, "What will we do?" The father looked up, his eyes hard but proud. "We will do what humans always do. We will fight. And we will win." Above them, the stars burned quietly, unaware of the new force rising among them. For the first time, the galaxy would learn the truth. Humanity was not prey. Humanity was the spark of defiance.